Hey guys, just wanted to do my review for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 3, Episode 20, Emancipation. So, this takes place after the events of Captain America Civil War, and Coulson's watching the events on the news about the Sokovia Accords, the feud between the two teams of Avengers. He's reading in the newspaper about Peggy Carter's death in a bar, and he's moaning. He's saddened by by the turn of events, and May reminds him he's got to keep his head in the game, dealing with Hive and the Inhumans. And Talbot's on his way because he wants to, because the Sokovia Accords have been put into law, have been passed. It turns out it was just a framework, just a test on the Avengers, but applies to all enhancers, people with superpowers. And and the president sent Talbot to have members of Inhuman members register with the government. Coulson's against it. He agrees to show Talbot his hidden SSR base, under the condition that he also tries to convince Talbot not to have them register because it's better for S.H.I.E.L.D. to operate in the shadows. And of course, he's introduced to Yo-Yo, who shows off her usurper speed abilities, and he meets Lincoln, who's still in quarantine, and he basically wants to get out of and he talks to him about getting out of quarantine by agreeing to register and tell him everything he needs to know. Beforehand, Daisy is with Hive. She's being drained of her blood. She's still pale, apparently, because she's very pale and weak, and to the point where even Radcliffe's have been working on a new experiment, to the point where he seems like a little sleep deprived, because he almost gives, instead of giving Daisy a Snapple bottle, she almost gives her the jar of blood. And so she contacts Lincoln, and Lincoln says that he wants to leave S.H.I.E.L.D. behind and Hive, and they just want to be together away from S.H.I.E.L.D. and Hive and run away together. Lincoln agrees, and since she has access to all the security systems and helped design it, she essentially engineers a way for basically, even though Fitz was trying to find a way to keep Lincoln from leaving the base, Daisy's able to hack into the system and allow him to escape and take a Quinjet out of the base. And meanwhile, the Watchdogs hear the news about the Sokovia Accords and think it doesn't do enough, and they're still hell-bent on killing humans. And they get intel about one that's out in public, and they follow it into an alley, but it turns out to be James, who takes a chain, ignites it with fire, and Hive shows up there, and they both capture the Watchdogs and puts them in a one of those freight containers, and disperse the Terrigen Kree blood mixture into the containment unit, into the place that they're trapped in. And it turns out that and it ends up just turning them into just primitive looking forms of Inhumans. And Hive seems to be perfectly content with it, and so he just agrees that he wants all the new Inhumans to look like that, and now he needs all of Daisy's blood to do that. Fitzsimmons is updating Talbot about Hive and where he's come from, and after the word gets, and just when everybody thought that Lincoln had actually escaped from the base, it turns out that it was just a Trojan horse. The Quinjet is being remotely piloted by Daisy, but they don't know. But Hive, Daisy, and company don't know that it's really Lash that they actually put on board the Quinjet, and then May, Lincoln, and Daisy were actually working together to sneak Lash onto the Quinjet, in which Talbot has disapproval for why he wasn't in the stasis gel, but they wanted to see if Lash would be powerful enough to defeat Hive, and he's actually is able to hold his own against Hive to the point where he destroys the spores that Hive tries to use to control him, and he's able to hold off all the primitive Inhumans that were former watchdogs. And then when Daisy tries to come to Hive's defense, because she's so weak from all the blood that's been drained from her, she passes out, and Lash is able to use her powers to destroy all the Hive spores in her system, and tells her she's free. And as she's carrying her back to the Quinjet, he gets stabbed by James and dies on board and Daisy uses her powers to send James flying back, and Lash dies while Daisy pilots the Quinjet back to base, saying that she's coming home. Fitzsimmons checks her out to confirm that she's free of Hive's control, and she's welcomed back with open arms. And and there's a scene where May's mourning Lash's death, because they knew that a part of Andrew was still like in control and actually was rescuing Daisy, and still cared enough about Daisy to like rescue her. And then originally Mac and Yo-Yo were having a conversation in which Mac was distant with her because he was afraid that what was going to happen with Daisy was going to happen to her. And when Daisy was able to be saved from Hive, he started to have a little bit of faith, and Yo-Yo gives him the golden cross necklace that was seen in the flash forward in which somebody died, and it seemed a little bit too obvious that he would be the one that dies, but I don't know, it's just a wait and see how it plays out. And also, I guess another note is that the team talks about how Hive stolen something. Hive plans to use something to disperse the Terrigenesis Kree blood mix in order to turn everybody into Inhumans, and that's when Talbot realizes that that's what they're going to use the stolen warhead for, which Gaera got from former Agent Blake in a previous episode. So basically next week's going to be like a 2-hour finale. Good episode. I would have thought that the whole Daisy turning evil arc would have lasted through at least that last 2-parter season finale. But still a pretty good episode. I like that the kind of send-off of sorts. Like Lash ultimately, in spite of it, his one last good deed was to save Daisy, and now I'm excited to see where it's going to go for the season finale. So, what do you guys think of the episode? Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. If you like this video, like, share, and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys soon. Take care.